What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, reviewing today Overcooked 2. The first game in this series is one of my favorite co-op experiences ever because it manages to be so different. While it does have such a cutesy art style and a semblance of being so easy, it's actually incredibly difficult. When the clock is ticking and the pressure is mounting and you're afraid you're about to screw up the next order, your heart is going to be pounding. I'm going to tell you right up front, I accidentally broke one of my controllers while making this review because while I was trying to whip up a dish, I accidentally cracked a joystick. That is how high the tension and excitement is in Overcooked 2. It takes everything about the original and multiplies it by 2 and makes it even better. But it's not exactly perfect. So let's start off by talking about what this game is, in case you missed the first one. Essentially, you are a team of cooks trying to whip up a series of orders as fast as possible in order to get good tips, high scores, and hopefully move on. Each one of the levels is a different kitchen, usually with a quirky layout, having something like conveyor belts or just awkwardly placed ingredients. And at the top of the screen are all the things you need to bake. The quicker you can do it, the more points you're going to earn. And if you do it in quick succession, you'll even get bonuses as the form of tips and combos. Now, the thing about this is you really need to focus on communication. That's your main weapon in this. Being able to talk to your partner and tell them, okay, I'm going to be chopping this meat, and can you prepare that flour? Everything needs to be done exactly in tandem, because as soon as you screw up, literally your entire kitchen can burn down, leading to a loss. So what you end up having to do here is constantly be spatially aware, keeping track of what you're doing, what you need to take care of next, and what your partner is up to, making sure that the dishes are clean, everything is ready, and the next thing is already on the conveyor belt ready to be cooked. Now this game is actually super cool because it's really one of those things that manages to put a heavy amount of pressure on you that your brain can actually process. Everything in this starts out feeling very realistic. Each of the ingredients and tasks we're trying to handle at the beginning seem really realistic. In some way they seem like something you could actually handle, but as Overcooked 2 goes on, they get more and more ridiculous until you're actually cooking dishes on alien planets or going through teleporters. This game, even more than the first, manages to go way off the deep end of Bizarro land, and I love it for that. The first game was fun, and being like a kitten cook and going on little quests to try and do big dishes, that was fun. But here, I like the fact that they've just decided to throw logic out the window and lean into the weirdness, and it's fantastic. Like, in one mission, I was actually on a hot air balloon, and me and my girlfriend, who is an actual cook in real life, were trying to communicate how we were going to throw stuff back and forth, because this is one of the new skills introduced in this sequel. You can now throw items across the map. So what she ended up trying to do is to go onto the side cart, and as the entire kitchen shifted around, she would throw me all the supplies I needed, and I would try and throw completed meals back, as a way of making it where we didn't have to move as far or dodge quite as many counters as they shifted. It led to so many moments of actually screaming at each other and laughing until we had tears in our eyes as we tried to figure out how the heck we were going to get past this. Because the biggest thing about this game is it's definitely harder than the original Overcooked. The first game was difficult, especially in the later missions, but you could pass them with even a slight amount of practice. But in this one, me and my friends, all when we were sitting down with this, it definitely gets way tougher until it almost seemed really too hard in certain sections, especially the challenge maps. If you do exceptionally well and get a bunch of stars, when you're on the overworld map, you can actually discover secret extra areas that you can traverse into, and when you go here, you'll find bonus kitchens that have extra high scores you need to earn and really complicated dishes you have to cook. Things that can sometimes have 2, 3, or even 4 steps to cook even a basic meal, which makes it where every time an order is up, you need to be constantly communicating every ingredient, every transfer, every single part, and every step. It's really, really difficult, but still really addictive. At no point in this game did I ever get frustrated in the slightest, but I will say that this is one of those co-op games where I found myself sipping on an energy drink, honestly, to make sure I could stay hyper-focused and not make even the slightest mistake. It's so great, though. I definitely think that this is what I wanted out of an Overcooked 2, is more maps, more wackiness, and more ways to try and push you around, but it's not perfect. The main problem I have with this is that they've now put in a lot of online co-op things, which is cool, but being able to play it online without voice chat doesn't do much. I reviewed this on Nintendo Switch, and when I was running around and trying to play online matches with other reviewers, you could only communicate with a series of emotes, which were very subtle hand gestures like cut. If I'm telling you to dice something up, it doesn't really do good when there's 5 different ingredients that can be diced. And it also makes it where, since I can't talk to people, I actually had to take my eyes off of my tasks to look at somebody else's work and make sure to see what they're up to. Another thing is, you are able to play this solo, but it's impossible. I'm really not quite sure why they even put this in here, if I'm being quite frank, but you now have the ability to go into missions by yourself, and what you'll basically do is have one person start cooking something, and then you press switch character, and then you're playing as the next person. So you end up basically trying to pass things back and forth to yourself. It's one of those design choices that on paper probably functioned pretty well, but in practice isn't really the best. But let's face facts, the reason you're playing this game is the co-op. I have to say that if you have a friend in real life that you can sit down on a couch with a couple controllers and just play it all night, this is now easily one of the best co-op experiences that's been released in years. Overcooked 2 is so amazing, I almost think it's probably going to start carving out this new niche in gaming, which are very difficult but very rewarding multiplayer experiences. Games that really push you to improve, but at the same time make it where you feel very, very much like you are getting better every single time you retry a map. And I love it for that. Okay, so we've heard some good and a little bit of bad, but let's go over to the ratings board and put a big number on it. I am giving Overcooked 2 a 9 out of 10. In a way, I'm sort of sad about the fact that I accidentally broke a controller while playing this game, but simultaneously, I'm oddly happy about it. It seems like such a fitting conclusion to such a great controller that's helped me beat hundreds of games at this point. So I'm going to go bury it in the backyard and then play a ton more of Overcooked. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Oh, hey, I was just playing a little bit of Grand Theft Auto on my Darth Vader PSP. Are you curious what I'm going to come out with next? Well, if you click this button, you'll be subscribed to be the first to know. Also, if you click over here and here, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. I promise, it was super good. Or it was really bad, and I'm sure you can just make fun of me in the comments. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching.